Hi all, good morning, good afternoon. Hope you are doing well. So in this today class, we will going to design one agentic workflow for employee request application. Okay, so you have seen in the previous class, okay, how your Maestro is work, what are the different components are available in BPMN model, and also you have seen different components available, and also no, you have also seen some of the uses of the component, how you can use and all everything. Okay, now in this today class, we will practically design one of the workflow, one of our business process using BPMN model 2.0. Okay, so to do this, first of all, you have to go to your UiPath Studio, or you can go to your Maestro. You can click on Start Modeling, or you can go to your UiPath Studio and you click on this and click on Agentic Process. Okay, so I have already been created one of the solutions in the previous class called Employee Leave Request Solutions. Just if you click on this, you will be able to see this is my solution called Employee Request, Leave Request Solutions and Employee Leave Agentic Process, and this is one of my BPMN process. Okay, and all these things we understood in the previous class. So let me delete all these things. Okay, let me delete. I will going to start from the scratch for your easy understanding. Okay, now this is one of, and based on this diagram we are going to build our agentic workflow. Okay, so but the basic prerequisite for this to build the agentic workflow, you should have very good understanding about UiPath Studio Web, and also you have very good understanding about your action center, or you can say no app building. And the third thing is you should have very good understanding about autonomous agent building also, right? And also you have very good understanding about the integration services. Then only you will able to together collectively everything bring into under one platform that is called Maestro, where we can build our entire agentic flow for a business process. Okay, so now quickly I'll going to share this screenshot for you also. You can just try this. Okay, I'm not going to no uh, talk about the internal call of the flows. I am just only strict about the design part of the agentic flow in backend, how that is being called, how that is going to be built, how that is going to be integrate with each other and all everything. That we will not going to cover in this class. In this class only and only we will focus on agentic flow design perspective. But in the backend, linking backend, workflow linking backend, agent linking, all these things we are going to cover in another class, where we will see in from the scratch how we can build your RPA workflow, how we'll build the APIs app, how we'll build integrations, all these things we will create it, how all together we'll build in a agentic workflow, that we'll see. But here we'll see only about the agentic workflow design. Okay, so if you see in this diagram, what in start we are doing, we are calling a start event, and that start event is going to trigger based on the email I have received. So how will do this? Just go here. This is my start event. If the start event will not find also, just go here, drag and drop the start event. And the start event, you go to your change element. You have to select message. You can say you can select message start event. Okay. So once you select the message start event, it means that whenever any email will drop into your mailbox inside your inbox, immediately that event will trigger. Okay, so you can say this name of the event is called initiate leave. Okay, so I can say write initiate leave. Okay, then the next part is called, okay, so next part is called, you have to go here, then you have to go here. Okay, here in the backend call everything will be happen from here only. Wait for the connector event. Okay, so all these thing will be backend, it will going to happen. Okay, so here you have to establish the connection to your email box, all these things that I'm not going to cover. Okay, that if that going to cover, it will be a very lengthy class for you. Okay, so that I'll be covering some separate class where I'll going to design from the scratch including your agentic workflow. But here I'm only talk about your agentic workflow. Okay, so that part I'm not covering here. Okay, so let me revert back. Okay, then once your email is configured, then you go to your email is configured. Then the next step is, if you go to the diagram here, I'm going to, once the email is triggered, I'm going to validate the leave balance. Okay, how will do this? You have to create a task here. Okay, this is the task. And what kind of task you have to do? You have to do a service task. Okay, this service task, what exactly do? We will do validate leave request. Okay, so this validate leave request is nothing but in the backend is going to call to a RPA workflow to do your task. But in the front end, you are just seeing this box, right? But in the backend, that is going to happen. Okay, that integrations you will see when I'll talk about in the upcoming class. You will see how I'm going to integrate that into a workflow and all inside this. Okay, you have to select this, start and wait for the RPA workflow. There are a lot of things that is going to be covered in the upcoming class. Okay, so now if once you did this, just connect this. Okay, then the next step is, if you go to the diagram here, I have to use a gateway. Okay, validate the leave balance. Okay, then I have to use a gateway. So just exclusive gateway, just drag and drop it here, and this exclusive gateway, you connect this on a flow to your exclusive gateway. So then in this gateway, there are two branches will come. Okay, two tasks can be happen max, because this is a condition based. One task can be success, one task can be failure. Okay, so now just to select this, then you drag and connect to the one branch. Similarly, you can connect and drag to the another branch. Okay, so now here what I can say this flow name is called yes, and condition you can put anything. Just for the dummy, I can say passed. Okay, similarly for your negative flow, I can select the flow, then I can select called no. Okay, then I can say the condition is called failed. Okay, now my both the branches I have connected. Now what the task, you can do the task accordingly. Okay, so what is the task I'm going to do? So if you see here, the task is a human in the loop. If the condition is passed, then human in the loop, the manager will going to approve it, right? So to do this, you have to just select the task, change the task type to user task. Okay, then you write manager approval. Okay, so if the condition is didn't match, then what I have to do, I have to resolve this leave balance issue. So how will I'm going to resolve that? Through agent I'm going to resolve this. Okay, so just double click it, write it resolve leave balance issue. Perfect. So now the next step is what we have to do. Once the manager is approved, okay, so then it will go in that direction. If it will be reject, then it will go in this direction. So then I will do one more thing. I'll just add another gateway. So this exclusive gateway I'm going to add it. Then here I can do one thing again. I'll add another task. Okay, and also add another task here. Okay, so then this task I'm going to connect it, and this task also I'm going to connect it. Let me properly organize it. Okay, so this task is talked about, okay, if approve or if reject, right? So let's assume the manager has approved, then this task will say is called approve. Okay, then the condition I can say okay, and this task I can say is reject. Okay, it's called reject. So if it is approved, then what will happen? The next step is update in the HR system, right? So I'll just say update in HR system. And if it is not approved, then I have to notify to the employee, right? Yeah, notify to the employee. Then I'll update. Notify to the employee. Okay, so this task is what kind of task? This task can be a workflow. Okay, so that I have to change the task type here called service task, and this task can be an email notification, right? So I have to change this to a send task. Okay, perfect. Now if you see, you have completed email came, then validate, then manager approval, then approve, then HR system updated. This is the happy path. Okay, then last I will connect one end flow. Okay, then I'll connect one end flow. Let me complete the happy path first. Okay, now I will go, let me update condition here. Okay, so now if you go to the diagram and see, this happy path is went well. Okay, and now if the leave balance is not sufficient, okay, then if the leave balance is not sufficient, if you see here the leave balance is not sufficient, is the balance is sufficient. So this thing I will say this name, I will say is the leave balance is the leave balance is sufficient. Okay, so it means that, okay, let me diagram this. Okay, it means I'm just rename this exclusive name is called is leave balance sufficient. Okay, so if it is yes, then it will go to the manager approval. If it is no, then it will go to the agent to resolve the balance issue, right? So now, then if let's assume the issue has been resolved by the agent, then what will happen? Then I have to connect to a exclusive gateway again here. Okay, then I'll connect this. Okay, and if if this is resolved, let's assume the condition is issue resolved. Let's assume it's resolved. I'll just rename this is issue resolved. Okay, this condition is will check the issue is resolved or not. If it is resolved, then what I'll do, I'll immediately send to the manager for the approval. Okay, so let me organize properly. Okay, so then I'll send that for approval. I'll say what I can write, I can say is resolve. Okay, resolve condition, I can say okay. Okay, if it is not resolved, then what will happen again? Then I will again resolve the issue by human, because agent is not able to resolve now. Again, I have to bring a human into the loop. Okay, so I have to just drag and drop one task here and change the task type to user task. Okay, then I'll connect this. Okay, perfect. Now, so I have to resolve that. It will be like this only. So I have to resolve that. The human is going to be resolve this issue. Okay, so now human is going to resolve this issue. Okay, so once the human is going to resolve this issue, okay, so I'll write this called resolve leave balance issue. Human is going to resolve this. Resolve leave balance issue. Okay, so now what will happen? I'll just reiterate it. Email came from here, go to the balance check, and if the balance check is okay, then it will go to the manager approval. If the balance check is not okay, then it will directly go to the agent for the resolve. Okay, and here also in the condition will check if the balance is sufficient, then go for manager approval. If it is not sufficient, it will come to the agent. Okay, then if let's assume agent is resolved this issue, then immediately again it will go to the manager approval. If it is not resolved, then human will resolve this issue. Perfect. Human is going to resolve this issue. So how are we going to resolve this? This flow will come from agent. Okay, when agent is not capable enough to resolve the issue, then agent will send that to human to resolve this issue. Okay, then once the human is resolved, then it will send to the gateway, then it will send, proceed further, right? Then the next step is, okay, if the issue is unresolved, okay, so let's assume the agent has not able to resolve the issue, then it will send to human for to resolve the issue, right? So then what, and send the issue, and it will be sent back to gateway. Then in gateway, in the condition will check if it is resolved, then it will send to manager. If it is unresolved, then what I have to do, I have to drag another task here. Okay, if it is unresolved, I'll say this is unresolved. Okay, this is unresolved. Unresolved, not okay. Okay, but actually here the actual condition will come, but just for the demo I'm writing okay, not okay, pass, well, like this I'm writing, but in the actual implementation it will come the actual condition. Okay, so then what I have to do, I have to notify to the employee. Okay, this notify employee is already been created, then I'll just directly connect this to notify employee. Okay, so if it is still not resolved, then I'll notify to the employee, right? Perfect. Okay, so let me keep this here. Perfect. It's notified to the employee, right? Once notified to the employee, then task will complete it. I'll just connect this to end task. It's completed. Okay, so now either you can create two end task or you can continue with one end task. So let me create the two one so that it will be just easily distinguished. I'll just create this. 1 second. I can say this is leave rejected, and this one I can say leave approved. Okay, so then the next step is, if you see here, my entire flow is designed now. Okay, and this one is called unresolved, right? Unresolved. Okay, so if you see the diagram and compare with our flow we have designed, if you see here, you will see the exact matching here. Okay, so we have now created the email. Okay, we have to create the email, and email trigger will happen here. Then the flow will start executing. It will validate the balance check. Okay, so if the balance is okay, then it will go to the manager for approval. If the balance is not okay, it will send to the agent for the validation again. And here also, if the validation is not worked, whatever the workflow you have given, it will send to the agent. Okay, then agent will do evaluations and it will send to the gateway. Then in the gateway, if it is resolved, it will send to manager. If it is not resolved, okay, then it will take the response from the human. Okay, and here agent, if not able to resolve, send the task to human. Human will resolve it or reject it, whatever, it will send back to the gateway. Then in the gateway, if it is resolved, go to the manager approval. If it is not resolved, then it will send to employer notification that your leave is rejected. Okay, similarly here also, if manager is approved, then it will go to the HR system and update. If it is rejected, then it will come to the notify and send a notification to the employee. Okay, so this is how the entire workflow has been designed. Now if you see here, so here also exactly same, it will be just exactly same we have designed here, right? Now what I'll do, I'll just if you see here, if you avoid confusions, how will come to know which one is agent, which one is human, which one is no uh, RPA workflow. So but obviously you will able to understand from this icon, but think about this no this service task. In the service task, that can be agent or can be RPA workflow. So how will differentiate it? So proper naming convention is very very important. Okay, so how I'll do this, let's assume I'll add the comment. Select this, add a comment here called, it's called workflow. Okay, same thing here, I can add a comment called human. Okay, here I can say add a comment called workflow. Okay, similarly I can add a comment here called agent. Here I can add a comment called human. Okay, so here I can add a comment called, you can say workflow, you can say. Okay, so this is how you have to design your agentic workflow. So this is one of the good example, I will say, given to you guys to try to implement yourself, so that you will get more hands-on on the different components available in BPMN model. Okay, so once you will be familiar on the different components available on the BPN model, then in the upcoming class we will see how we can build one of the agentic workflow from the scratch. When I said scratch, definitely will be like this. Okay, but in the back end, each task will going to perform certain task. That integration we will do, how exactly this task will connect it to the backend system, backend RPA workflow, backend agent, backend human in the loop, how that is going to be connected. And when you are going to execute, it will going to perform that certain task, and it will accept the input, give the output. Okay, so this is how it will be, entire workflow is going to be executed. Okay, so I think that's it for today. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the sessions. So if you see the full view of the agentic workflow, so it will be looks like this. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Keep learning, never stop learning. Bye bye.